How's it going, people? Welcome back to my channel. The transfer deadline is now closed. Arsenal's business is done. The Premier League team's business is done. And we're good to go for the season. The Liverpool match is coming up in a few hours. And I can't wait. Obviously, for me, the season really starts on Sunday, 2 p.m. against Newcastle. Waking up really early on that day to head over. And I'm going to be doing a little vlog for all the away games this season and calling it away days. And bringing that out to you guys. I won't be vlogging at home games anymore. I'm going to try and be part of this, Ashburton Army and the new atmosphere being created by local fan groups and whatnot, because I'm fully supportive of that. The Emirates Stadium needs to be a bit more of a fortress, and I'm fully behind that. But look out for my away days vlog coming out, obviously Sunday evening probably, depending on what time I get back, maybe Monday morning, and a few more things coming to the channel. But obviously, like I said, the transfer window is done. Business is done. I'm getting a lot of questions on Instagram, a lot of questions on Twitter asking me how I'm feeling. Obviously, I was very vocal about Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, and how we've been run over the last decade. I wasn't happy for 2/3 of the transfer window. I think it was evident from all the videos I was bringing out. They all tended to be negative based, but in my opinion, real. And I know a lot of my subscribers are with me on that. It was the reality of the situation, and I know we improved it in the last third. I know the signings we made in the final 2-3 weeks of the window showed something different. Do you know what I mean? It gave us a renewed hope that maybe things are actually changing on from moving Wenger on and moving Gazidis out and whatnot. At the end of the day, it is what it is now. We didn't get that centre-back we all wanted in. David Luiz was the one we did eventually bring in, and I might as well start with him. I think with that signing, we brought in a replacement for Koscielny, someone that's better than Koscielny, less injury prone, puts himself about a bit more. The one thing I will say is Koscielny is actually a better defender, natural defender than Luiz is. Luiz is definitely better at bringing the ball out, definitely has a better range of passing, definitely a lot more confident, definitely more of a leader. But defensively, Koscielny was better than Luiz. But what Luiz brings is what Socrates doesn't have, and I believe that partnership until Holding comes back will do a bit of a job for us. I won't speak too soon. Obviously, we've got Newcastle away, and they've got a few new signings come in this summer, which is new to them, and I'm sure their fans are going to be hopeful. Although they're not happy with their managerial appointment, I'm sure their fans are going to be hopeful for something better this season. Do you know what I mean? For something better, because they have done some business. But David Luiz, it'll be interesting to see when we get Holding back, who he'd partner. Would it be Socrates or would it be David Luiz? Would we play a 3 at the back? Because I know David Luiz probably suits a 3 at the back a bit better. It's just that right now with Holding out, the 3 would probably have to be either Monreal or Mustafi. I know who I'd go with, but Emery might want to go with the more natural centre-back, which is meant to be Mustafi, but we all know there's nothing natural about his defending. So Luiz, I'm happy with that signing, especially in the last few hours of the window, especially considering we didn't get the central defensive reinforcement that we was all craving. So that signing, I'm happy we brought him in. Along with him on the final day yesterday, it was Tierney. Also happy with his arrival as expected. We've been trying to negotiate for 5-6 weeks. I think because he was injured, we wasn't in that much of a rush. We was maybe potentially waiting for Celtic to play their hand, maybe come back and say, you know what, we'll accept that offer. But it wasn't to happen. We went back, we got the deal done. He is recovering from surgery, minor surgery, and he should be back hopefully in September. And he'll be good and raring to go. With his arrival, I think we've got a real talent at the left fullback or left wing back position, however we want to play, depending on how Emery sets up. His defending is equally as good as his attacking. He's got a great ball in. He's got a good end product. Throughout the seasons, he's got 3 to 5 to 6 assists every season, and he's produced a goal here and there. He didn't score any last season, but the season before, I think he got 3. Season before that, 1, and the season before that, 1. And this is just in the league I'm talking about. I didn't really check for other competitions, but it looks like he's got an eye for the goal as well. It looks like he's got an eye for an assist, and that's exactly what we need, obviously, in this day and age with the Robertsons, Alexander-Arnolds, the Kyle Walkers, they're all, even Zinchenko, they're all adding to the attack. It's all about building from the back now, and the fullback position is so vital to this modern day football. Pep plays a different style to Klopp, but their fullbacks are equally as important to their teams. So it's something that we've had to address. Kolasinac is not the best defensively. He is good attacking, but his final end product isn't all that, especially in the Europa League final when he got into a couple great positions and nothing, absolutely nothing materialised from it due to a bad end product or bad decision making. So Tierney hopefully will be the upgrade we require at the left back position. And again, I'm happy with that signing. It's someone that last season when I was looking at the left back positions, it was Chilwell and Tierney that was sticking out in terms of British talent. So we've managed to get one of them in. I know Chilwell is definitely a lot more expensive, and coming from Leicester, who, you know, they hold out for a lot of money, as Man United know, for Maguire. So I think we've done well. Tierney, 25 million, good business, along with David Luiz on deadline day. It was a positive deadline day for once. Do you know what I mean? It was a very positive deadline day. And moving on, who was the signing before that? Obviously the big one, Nicolas Pepe. 72 million total. Obviously we haven't paid that much up front. It is installments, I think, over 2 to 3 years, but it's a massive signing. Up front, installments, I don't give a shit. We got the guy, and he's the one that really turned fans' heads. He's the one that really made me think, hold on, be excited. Nicolas Pepe, that's someone I wanted. Okay, it's getting exciting now. It's getting exciting. Obviously it wasn't followed up as much as I would have hoped with that centre back, but Nicolas Pepe is a great sign, and Nicolas Pepe will be a great player for us for years to come. For years to come. So well done to the board, well done to Raul, Vinay, Edu, whoever was involved, Kroenkes. Thank you for that signing. It's a great start. Like last year was the start, it's still the start now. Because until we clear all the deadwood, which is another positive of this window, until we clear it all, that's when we really start to see a new Arsenal. But Nicolas Pepe, he adds so much to our team. As much as we needed a centre-back, we needed a winger. And what Nicolas Pepe brings is an out-and-out winger that likes to cut in. And he has a great left foot. Great left foot. He likes to shoot. He's got an eye for a pass. Like, his eye for a pass is not Ozil quality, but when he's on the run, drawing defenders in, sometimes you don't need to have as much creative quality. Sometimes drawing the defenders in and then just releasing the ball through the lines is all you need to do. And he is that type of player. He is the type of player that will get the attention of 2-3 players at once, especially in attacking positions, especially when we're on the counter. When we're on the counter, it's going to be electrifying with him, Aubameyang, Lacazette. I'm hoping those three gel well together. I'm hoping we see Nicolas Pepe on Sunday, even though I'm hearing otherwise. I get it with the African Cup of Nations. I get it because he came back late, obviously extended holiday and whatnot. So it's understandable, but I believe that we need to get off to the best of starts this season. As well as this transfer window being a very much positive window compared to years gone by. We need a change in terms of starting the season. In seasons gone by, we've started very laboured, started very slow. We wasn't ready. Hopefully we're ready this season, and that's what I'm going to go into at the end of this video. I'm going to go into the not the negatives, but the reality of the situation too, because as much as I'm happy with this window, as much as I'm happy with the signings we've made, there is still some work to do, and I'm going to get into that in the latter part. But like I said, Nicolas Pepe, can't complain there, can't complain. We needed that. We needed to stretch teams. We needed someone that was a threat on the wings. Like Mickey and Iwobi weren't really that much of a threat. Do you know what I mean? I know Iwobi did his thing from time to time. Mickey, I wouldn't even say from time to time with him. I think he had a handful of good games. But it wasn't enough, especially again in modern day football. Width is required. If your fullbacks are not providing that, then surely your wingers must. And finally, we've got someone in that at 24 years of age, he's raring to go. He's raring to go. And before him, we got Saliba. Now with Saliba, obviously he's gone back to Saint Etienne. He's a prospect. Apparently a lot of big teams wanted him. I didn't hear too many strong rumours with other teams, I'm going to be honest with you. But he does look a good signing in terms of physical attributes. And he's only played a handful or 17 games for Saint Etienne last season. So I'm going to keep a special lookout for him this season. I won't get to watch all Saint Etienne games live, but what I'll do is get them recorded or downloaded, watch them 90 minutes, because to judge a defender, you really need to see how they're working in the whole 90 minutes. because it can only take 30 seconds for it to all to go wrong, and Mustafi is very much prone to that. I'm not saying anywhere like they're anywhere alike, but Saliba, I'm going to do a video on him after every game. Look out for that as well. And with that signing, it shows that we're building for years to come as well, along with Martinelli, who we'll go into as well. With Martinelli and Saliba, it's signings for the future. Martinelli, he might make an impact off the bench this season, but we've also got Reece Nelson. Obviously, we've also got Mickey. So I'm not sure how much actual game time he's going to get. Obviously, we might be surprised because with Guendouzi last summer, I didn't expect him to be starting, but he did. And he started a hell of a lot and played a hell of a lot of games for us last season in the league, 30 plus. Who really expected that off the back of a signing from the level he was coming to us at such a young age? We didn't. And it worked out for us, in my opinion, in terms of his improvements and development, because he has improved over the season, and at such a young age to take the Premier League on and take the role at Arsenal, which is very difficult at present with the imbalance in the team, he done pretty good. I know there was games where he was pretty bad. I know there was times when he had lapses in concentration, and I know there's times when he was playing balls into nowhere, but he's a very young man. Same with Martinelli, same with Saliba. We can't expect too much of them from the get-go. I can't lie to you. We can't expect too much from them from the get-go. So it's all about monitoring their development. It's all about looking how they fit in, looking how they eventually can make an impact. Because next summer, Saliba coming back at 19 years of age, still, in my opinion, won't be ready for first-team action week in, week out in the Premier League. You need to embed a teenage centre-back in a bit better than just throwing him in there, in my opinion. Centre-back position's quite volatile. You can be a great defender, you could look a good defender until that one striker rips you a new one, and then you're finished. Because it's all about mentality as well. It's all about knowing you can do it. That moment doubt creeps in, that moment you get roasted, or your mentality needs to be strong. We've seen defenders that send us who look good very young, and then Drogba ripped him a new one, and then he was finished. He was done from there. It went downhill. It's because he wasn't mentally strong enough to bounce back from that performance. And it just happened over and over again until he was eventually shipped out. And that's the same for a lot of our centre-backs over the years, over the last decade especially. They haven't had the mentality required to really push us onto the next level, to really make the defence a fortress. We haven't had that. So hopefully Saliba does bring that. Hopefully we bring some leadership into the defence next season with more experience. But I like Saliba and Martinelli signings too. They should be background signings. And in my opinion, they are background signings. And by that, I mean, they're signings for the future. We're not looking at them for now. The Pepe's now, that's fine. David Luiz now, Kieran Tierney now. They have signings for now. Do you know what I mean? So, obviously, with Martinelli and Saliba, it's looking more towards the future. And one thing I got to say is, the Martinelli one, I was a bit ooh and ah about it, thinking he hasn't really been tested where in the league he's in the lower leagues in South America. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes in. But pre-season, he looked very confident. He looked like he was on it. He looks a bit of a decent young player, I can't lie to you. And that obviously comes through with the Edu link. Edu being our new head of football, obviously working closely with Brazil over the years. So that looks good. Maybe David Luiz had a part to play as well with Edu, because that's another Brazilian that's coming this summer. And I'm happy, you know. Generally, when I look at the transfer window, Pepe, Saliba, Martinelli, Kieran Tierney, David Luiz, I can't actually complain. Oh yeah, and Ceballos, obviously. Ceballos on loan. Another area that needed addressing, considering Ramsey was gone on a free. That's probably the biggest loss that we had in terms of outgoings this summer. The one that ideally I wouldn't have liked, but it is what it is. He's had to go, and Ceballos, for a season, he looks like he wants to prove himself to Real Madrid, and if he wants to prove himself at Arsenal, so be it, because that's all good for us. If he wants to give 150% effort, if he wants to really show Real that he's ready for them, he needs to be doing it at Arsenal. He needs to be turning their heads, because Zidane doesn't seem to like him much. I'm saying that because when Zidane was first there, he wasn't playing much. Zidane went, Ceballos was in the squad, Zidane's come back, Ceballos is out the squad. So it seems like he's not fitted into the way Zidane wants to set his team up. But who knows, it turns Zidane's head, and you don't know what could happen, or turn other European teams' heads. Obviously, he was adamant, apparently, that he didn't want the obligation to buy. He wanted to prove himself to Real. I'm sure if other clubs like Bayern or whoever else came in for him, I'm sure he'd prefer them over us too. But all I can judge it on is this season. And to replace Ramsey this window, when I look around, could have been difficult. And we would have probably had to take a risk. And financially, didn't seem plausible. And I'm going to get onto that too. But yeah, those 6 signings, I think I'm happy with every single one of them. I'm just hoping our defence doesn't let us down as usual. I'm hoping we're turning a corner, because when you look at our first team and you look at the team now, it's a very different team to 2 years ago under Wenger. And the players that were even under Wenger, like Aubameyang, only for 6 months, Laka for a year, it wasn't for too long. They wasn't tainted by his lack of tactics and his lack of enthusiasm, I think, for winning anymore. So it's good to see, because that's something I've wanted to see, and that's something I wanted to see as soon as possible. And going into the second season is as soon as possible for me. So that's definitely good to see. And what I rate this transfer window, I'll rate this transfer window at a 10. I'd rate it at a 7. And that 7.5 out of 10. And that's me being happy, because I am happy with it. It's just that maybe we could have got business done a bit sooner. That's one thing, because it's all about embedding players. It's all about getting them used to the team, getting them familiar with surroundings. Maybe we could have done that, but then people will argue that Tierney was injured, Pepe was away on African Cup of Nations. Understandable, but what I want to see moving on to next summer, to be happier with the transfer market, is a bit more proactive work, a bit more. We know what we want before the window opens. We're going to get it, and we're going to sort it out real quick. And we've got the rest of the summer to gel. We've got the rest of the summer to work together. We go on the tour together, and we start the season raring to go. That's some improvement I'd like to see next summer, definitely. And on top of that, obviously the Kroenkes need to carry on supporting, because as much as we've spent 138 mil this summer in total, including add-ons and everything, you take away the outgoings and it brings it down to, I think, about 83 mil. Yeah, about 83 mil, because there's about 50 mil worth of outgoings. So 83 mil we've spent. If you look at my videos earlier in the summer, I always said we got between 70 and 90 mil to spend. That's what we've spent. But then you take away the add-ons and it does come to about 50 mil, which was the rumoured budget that we have, 45 mil. Now, for me, we've done very well in the market. Hold tight Raul, he's done his job. Hold tight Edu, he's come in and done well so far. But we could have done more. That's why I'm going to give it a 7.5. Be more proactive next summer, Arsenal. Do the things we need to do early on. And let's get the best possible start to a season that we've missed for so long. Because I hope David Luiz is ready for Sunday, because I'd slot him straight in. And if Tierney was fit enough, I would do that too. But obviously he's recovering. Pepe, same thing. So let's get these players in sooner next summer. Let's sort out the areas we still need to address, because we couldn't do it all in one summer. Don't get me wrong. We couldn't have had a 10 out of 10 summer, because there's too many holes to fix. And I'd be lying to myself if I expected that. But next summer, we know now, massive centre-back. Right back, either a backup or a replacement for Bellerin, depending on how he comes back into the squad this year. If he carries on improving, obviously get a backup for him. If he doesn't, then you find the first teamer. But centre-back, that, and a centre midfielder to replace Ramsey and Ceballos, because he's only here for a year. And then we move, maybe another winger. We really start to make change. We really start to rebuild, restructure this squad, and really start looking at it and thinking, we can do something there. And that's what we need to get back to. But top 4 is vital this year. So hopefully we get it. Over to you, Emery. I can't lie, over to you. 7.5 out of 10 transfer window. One of the best transfer windows in a long time for Arsenal Football Club. So, Emery, get us top 4, or I'm guessing you're going to be gone at the end of your contract next summer, because it's vital. This top 4 spot is vital right now. You look at Chelsea's transfer window, you look at Man United's transfer window, and I'm not too impressed. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really not that impressed. So, we've really got an opportunity there to get top 4. So, let's do it now. Let's do it, Arsenal. Let's do it, Emery. we're all behind you now. Let's get this top 4 and let's start with a win at Newcastle away. And watch out for my preview tomorrow. I'll bring that to you. And I'm hopefully getting a video done with Deluded to do a little season preview or whatnot. Maybe out later today, maybe out tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the preview. But you lot let me know what you think about the transfer window below. Give it a rating out of 10. And explain your rating a bit. Let me know why you give it that rating, because I know a lot of people are going to disagree. I know a lot of people are going to agree. Yeah, but love for all the feedback, comments, subscribers, all of that. Carry on following the Instagram Turkish LDN, the Twitter Turkish LDN, and I'll continue bringing you guys videos. But love for everything, people.